What's going on, guys and gals? This is Auto Tech. So hopefully it shows up on camera, but you know, check out all this smoke here. Like, there's a lot of forest fires going on in the area. It's kind of seeming to be a trend, you know, around this time every year with my videos. There's just been a lot of fires going on, and so we're getting a lot of smoke in the area, a lot of fallen ash and stuff like that. And you know, it's hard on people's breathing. Like, even I notice, like, I wake up in the morning and my chest just feels tighter than usual. But you know, being a heavy smoker and all, I mean, I feel like I've been preparing for this my whole life. Like, whereas other people are like, oh, my eyes are itching and burning and my nose is on fire, and I'm just like, yeah, I can taste it. Yeah, you know, it's there. We actually broke a 85-year record yesterday for heat. Yesterday was the hottest that Alberta or Calgary has ever been in. It was like 84 years or something like that. Now, when it comes to these temperature records that are from like 1917 and crap like that, how accurate were they? You know, like, I always question that. But either way, you know, like, even if we're talking for the last 50 years, it was the hottest day in the last 50 years. And I mean, it was gross. Like, I was out and about, and I mean, I was doing like well over the speed limit on the highway, just trying to stay cool. And I mean, man, it was cooking. And you know, like, that kind of brings us straight into today's topic, because like, you know, I'm about to tell you guys the temperature, and it's going to be like, well, it's not that hot. It got to like, now the official record was like 37 degrees Celsius, and they used the Calgary airport as the official record. But if you looked at different spreads in the Calgary area, like Okotoks got to, it was like 39 degrees, and you know, just like a bunch of other places were right around that 40-degree mark. Now, the easiest way to convert that over for an approximation is you times it by 2 and you add 30, and then you join the rest of the world when it comes to being in Celsius. But it was 104 degrees Fahrenheit, like, roughly, like, so it was like 102, 103 or something like that. Like, you know, I wasn't you know, I wasn't exact on my science, but yeah. So, like, now the reason I bring that up, that is, like, it's not hot for some, because, like, you know, you take a place like SoCal, it's like 100 degrees is pretty normal, but you don't get the temperature swings that you get here, right? So, you know, like, when I'm complaining that it's hot and stuff like that, yeah, I'm gonna try and justify myself a little bit here, but it's like, I got to deal with 80-degree swings from one end of the summer, you know, or like from one end of the season to the other, right? You know, our winters get like minus 45 with the wind chill, you know, and like, I don't even know what that would be like in Celsius. Like, that'd be like, I don't know, 40 degrees. No, that would be 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It would be really cold in Fahrenheit. I mean, you know, if you're looking at a chance of getting frostbite within 5 minutes, it's pretty cold out. And then, you know, and then in the wintertime, suddenly now it's, you know, 40 degrees Celsius, and it's like, wow, like, that's an 80-degree swing, give or take a few degrees over the course of an 8-month span. Now, even take our days, for example, like, with where we are in relativity to the mountains, like, most of my mornings riding to work are barely even 10 degrees Celsius. And then the afternoon will be like 30-something. So it's like, you know, it's a 20-something degree spread, like, just from the time I went to work to the time I'm coming home. So it's like, it's hard to climatize to that, because it's, you know, it's gross all the time. It's always one extreme or the other. And so, you know, like, if you're dealing with 108 in the summer, and then your winters are mid-70s, you know, low 80s, it's like, yeah, you know, that feels cold, because you've been used to, you know, extreme heat for a long time. But, you know, you're not dealing with such a swing. But, you know, like, I gotta wonder, You know, like there was probably a lot of people that got sick yesterday and stuff like that. I know the Angry Ginger texted me and he's like, man, what were those symptoms of heat stroke that you had last summer? And I was like, oh, you know, like extreme nausea, like dizziness, like I could feel my heart pounding like in behind my eyes, like I was getting tunnel vision, and I was like overheating to the point where it was like I just wanted to lay on my concrete floor in the garage. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm getting heat stroke. It's like, yep, yeah, that's a very real possibility. Funny enough though, today is a seasonal average, so like right now we're rocking what, about 20 degrees Celsius, and it's like it feels cold compared to yesterday. Like this is the temperature it was at 6:30 in the morning yesterday, and it was like, oh boy, today's gonna be hot. And I can usually gauge it by that, like if I get out of bed around like 5ish and I step outside for a smoke and it's like hot, it's gonna be a long day. So let's bring that straight into today's question. What is the hottest you've had to ride in? For me, I don't know the Fahrenheit off by hand, but it was like 42 degrees Celsius, so that'd be like what, like 108, 110 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. And I mean, like that was like unbearable. Like it was gross. Like there was no escaping the heat, and I wouldn't recommend that for anybody. But you know, yesterday even you know, to have like the seasonal temperature just randomly jump up like 12 degrees and you know, be that hot, it was a shock. So what about you guys? Like, you know, for the Southern brothers, you know, it's like 110, just a normal day, you throw on a t-shirt and some sunscreen and off you go. I mean, always I follow this guy, he's called Desert Echo, and like he's always like in the desert riding his V-Rod, and I'm like, man, like, is it like 114 degrees or something down there? Like, or is he just doing most of his riding early in the morning or something? But yeah, make sure you guys let me know on down below. I thought I'd update you on the record and stuff. That was kind of cool. And then it kind of shows you a perspective for, like, you know, if that's a record temperature for here, what, you know, you can see that, you know, like we don't usually get that type of temperatures. But, you know, if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you for taking the time and watching.